Welcome to the Success Sensei Podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in, this is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 137. 12 ways to get filthy rich. What is filthy rich? There's lots of different definitions. Everyone has an opinion. But the one that we're going to go with for the purpose of the podcast is enough money that you don't have to work ever again. Or you could also add, I suppose, enough money to buy anything you want and still not have to work ever again. So we are most definitely not talking about just being financially comfortable. We're talking about being filthy rich. That figure is absolutely up to you. It is subjective. It's up to your lifestyle. It's up to whatever figure you reckon you would need to sustain your way of life or a higher way of life for the rest of your life without ever having to work again. So in other words, a lot of money. Right, let's go through the 12. And this might give you options on how to proceed going forward into the future. Okay, number one way, but they're not in order. They're not in order, by the way, but we'll have to start somewhere. So we'll start with number one. The number one way to get filthy rich. Become a high-profile athlete. So a footballer, high-earning footballer, high-earning tennis player, high-earning golfer. I didn't really put high-earning fighter because there's not very many at all. It would be hard to list 10 high-earning fighters, so I've stuck. If you're going to be a high-earning athlete, you may as well go with the sports that you've got the highest chance of earning. So stats and numbers on your side, the highest chances of earning. If there's only one or two fighters that you can think of that make a lot of money, there's a hell of a lot more tennis players, footballers, golfers, rugby players, or whatever other athlete you think. You may as well go with that. The 7.5 billion people on the planet. If you can only name one fighter that's making money, you know, it's going to be harder to do it in the fighting world than it might be some other sports. So the problem is you're going to have to be very, very, very good and also get the right breaks to succeed. So that was number one, a high profile athlete. Number two, a celebrity. So I've put in singers, actors and entertainers of all descriptions. The hard part about being a filthy rich celebrity is that you need the right breaks. The good news is you don't even have to be any good. So for some of them you don't have to be any good. For some you may have to. It's a little bit different from being a high profile athlete. Number 3 ways of becoming filthy rich is invent something that everybody needs. If you can invent something and everybody buys it, you're going to be filthy rich. It might take a fair few attempts and you might never succeed, but it's always worth a shot if you have inventing in your soul. Number 4, how to become filthy rich and ways to get filthy rich. Pursue very lucrative criminal pursuits. I'm not even going to give you any examples. But just keep in mind that if you make a lot of money this way, it could be very short-lived. You mightn't live long enough to really enjoy it. So number 5, this is a hard one. Study and work your way to the highest paying careers. What are the highest paying careers? Well, you could be a medical specialist, i.e. a consultant or some type of neurosurgeon. You could be a legal professional like a judge. You could be a financial professional, as in a high-performing fund manager. So there's some of the ways to study and work your way to the top of those careers. Definitely not an easy path. Slightly easier path if you're in the position is number 6, inherit your wealth. You'd kind of have to have that lined up already for you. So inherit your wealth. And the problem with inheriting wealth is if you're not used to the wealth, you could mismanage the wealth that you've inherited fairly easily. But that's number 6. Certainly a great way that all of us would love to become filthy wealthy and filthy rich. Number 7. This is always an option. Marry into money. So forget about marrying for love. Marry for riches. Marry into money. It might take you a while to find the perfect spouse, and it might take you even longer to convince them to marry you without a prenuptial. Next one then is number 7. I think I'm on 7. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm on number 8. Is gamble your way into fortunes. So there's a hell of a lot of luck, as well as skill, as well as practice, as well as systems involved in gambling. The whole world of gambling is designed for all of us to lose. So you're already fighting against the odds, trying to become filthy rich by being a gambler. There are people who have done it. Maybe it's you. Maybe you can do it. What number did I say that was? Right, number 9, we're next. Start a successful business. Then you can possibly sell it for shed loads of money, or delegate so that you never actually have to work it yourself, whereas you reap all the rewards and all the profit, and it frees you up to do all the other things in your life, so you don't actually have to work your successful business. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That sounds good. Number 10, work for a startup that blows up. Now, not blows up with a bomb, but absolutely goes off the charts successful. So what are the odds of that happening? Working for a startup like, I don't know, Microsoft, Starbucks, I don't know, whatever large companies you can think of. And it helps if before they go off the charts, before they blow up, that they give you stock as payment for your services, or they certainly give you stock options of which you avail of, and then it goes off the charts. That's a super way to become filthy rich. But what are the odds of you picking and working for a successful startup that really goes that off the chart, that really blows up? It's a hard one to choose. And number 11, I've probably screwed up these numbers, but you stick with me anyway. Work your way to the top of a large company. So we are talking about a big salaried position. Work your way up. Meander around all the office politics and get yourself to the top of a high earning, a large salary, large company. That's another way of doing it. I'll give you those 11 again before I give you number 12. We'll see how disheartened you are when I give you them again. So number 1, a high profile athlete. Number 2, a celebrity. Number 3, invent something. Number 4, criminal pursuits. Number 5, study and work your way to the highest paying careers. Number 6, inherit your wealth. Number 7, marry into money. Number 8, gamble your way. And number 9, start a successful business. Number 10, work for a startup that blows up. Number 11, work your way to the top of a large company. If you've been disheartened, let me give you number 12. If you can do any of those 11, definitely go ahead and do it. If you're thinking, I need another option, here's where number 12 fits in. Okay, number 12. There's a few steps to this, so follow with me. Earn as much money as possible in your job, in your career, or in your own business, and look to increase that. Also, have a second source or more of income. In other words, some people call it a side hustle. Then live as far below your means as possible while still having a life, of course. So the excess money from doing the above should be invested in high-yielding assets. High-yielding assets, property, dividend, stock, or even in other businesses, or starting businesses. So that investment that you've invested the money into, so the property, the dividend stock, or the companies or the businesses, that should also generate its own income, its own revenue. And that too should be invested into further assets. Then continue investing your excess income, because you're living below your means, as well as the income that's being produced by your assets, so that you never, until the point you never ever have to work again. When you never ever have to work again, continue to work anyway and reach an even higher level of financial security and generational wealth. So build generational wealth that lasts generations, that can be given to your kids, your kids' kids, your kids' 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 kids, and so forth. Simple, but not easy. So what is going to be your choice? What of those 12 options are you going to go with? I would love to hear how you plan on doing it, how you've already done it, or how far down your current choice of path you've gone. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.